with the UC University of Cincinnati Economic Center this past service year with a program called UC STEP. As you all know from my first POL, I gave a little bit of history with what we do, which is we go into schools and we have a mock store where we set up, and the students can come and use money they've earned throughout the year to buy products such as pencils, notebooks, or something like MP3s or digital cameras. They have the option of saving. You want to teach them about their decision-making skills and how to make choices early on in life, because how many of us as adults now struggle with saving money or when to donate or when to spend responsibly. So that's a little bit of what we do. But this POL, I wanted to talk about how I have changed in my extremes. I tend to have lived my life on the extremes in my thoughts and beliefs. So it's either I'm doing wonderful, I look wonderful, I'm having a great day, or it's this is the worst day of my life, or I cannot stand myself, or this is going to go terrible, right? So my public ally year was no different. I came in really late because I filled the application out later than the due date. So all I wanted to do in life was serve the youth, work with the young teenagers, and try to get them to have a great self-image and all this other things that I always wanted to do. I never wanted to work with finances or economics or anything of that matter. I was fine. It was the same way in my life. I couldn't do without it. As long as my bills were paid, I was fine. So coming on board, I remember the matching sheet and the ranking form. And I remember UC STEP was actually my #1 choice. And I remember putting how they made me feel so comfortable, and I was not concerned about how it would be working with them, that they would kind of teach me, they would let me be who I was, and they would bring me along. And actually to this day, that's proven that they were going to do that, and they have been doing that as I've been working with them. So as we started this journey, I was a little nervous about who I would be to these students and who I'll be to the organization. I only have my associate's degree, and the liberal arts had nothing to do with finances or economics. I have a more realistic view of what I can do and who I am in life now. I don't think I have to be perfect, but I don't think I have to be necessarily always feeling down on myself. I do think that I need to have a realistic view on life. Some days I'm going to be late, hopefully not all the time. Some days I am not going to look tip-top, but I will make sure that I can do what I do and grow. And that's how I felt with the communities that we serve in the school district. Some of them, when I came in, I instantly thought they need all the help. Some of the people that were in the economically disadvantaged schools. Pleasant Hill was a school that I grew up in College Hill, and I felt as though they needed every type of resource they could get. They didn't give enough. And toward the end, I realized, yes, they do need help, but they might need a little help being organized and having the proper teaching from teachers and organization. So now I've learned that everything doesn't have to be so rigid. So this is this way, it's that way. I had a program manager this year who worked with me. If she had been so rigid, I'm not sure how my program year would have went. But when you work with people and you allow them to be who they are, but you give them a actual plateau to work on and work towards, you allow them to grow. My TSP, we started off pretty rocky, and I also didn't want to say a word because I felt I was so overwhelmingly talkative in my life back in other leadership positions. Talked to my program manager and my team leader, that made no sense. But it made sense to actually step back and say, well, when I do talk, let me talk with something of value. Let me make sure that I say something that can contribute something to my team. And if I don't have anything to say that can contribute, be quiet. Great lesson to learn. Toward the end, I began to talk more and ask those questions that mattered, that kept us together and kept us moving forward. And in my life, and in after public allies, I want to bring that to wherever I decide to work, wherever I am going to lead, whatever I raise my child to be. I want to let her know you don't have to be Miss Perfect. You know, everything's not a romance, everything's not fantasy. Because as Madison said earlier, I wanted to be that hero for everybody and for everything. But I hadn't realized that I wasn't taking care of myself in doing that. So I want to allow myself to, in the space that I work, in my personal life, take care of me financially, and in my health, and professionally, so that when I do go out and try to save the world, I'm never going to stop doing that. I have to make sure that I'm on top so that when I go and teach them, it's something that I've actually practiced. And I can teach them the same skills. I can't make them do it, but I can give them the access. And public eyelash brought me to that point where I can say I've grown. And I couldn't say that before. I was everywhere, so scattered. But now I'm focused, and I have public eyelash to thank for that. And also UC State. It worked with me very well this year. So that's my presentation. I appreciate your time.